Well, the global financial downturn has thrown many enterprises into chaos. Many others have gone bankrupt, but others have discovered a new competitive edge. Lars Peterson is the president of Swedish company Sandvik, a world leader in industrial tools. BizChina's Sun Jiayu got some of his insight into how Sandvik sees the opportunities for growth amid the global economic meltdown.
Welcome to our show. The financial crisis has deeply impacted the real economy. The cost control has been one of the top concerns for many manufacturing companies. Some companies may be cautious to spend money. What opportunities you could see from this situation?
You know, for many companies, of course, the situation is now changing. Where maybe a year ago the primary objective was to increase the production rate within perhaps the framework of their factories and machines and employees they had. Now it has changed to become, in many cases, more a focus of working with cost efficiency, reducing the cost per component, maybe increasing flexibility of making many more different types of parts but in more smaller lot sizes. So changes are out there, and this creates new opportunities for Sandvik by providing technology for customers who want to become, in this case now, more cost efficient and more flexible. There are many interesting examples of this where, for instance, in the past somebody wanted to make crankshafts in very big volumes. You tend to have one manufacturing setup, but if you now want to make many more varieties in the same machine, you can move to different types of tooling and become very efficient in doing that.
Experts believe economic slowdown will be a good opportunity for mergers and acquisitions. Do you have any thoughts about creating JV with the Chinese companies in the near future?
You know, first of all, Sandvik, we have been making about 50 acquisitions now over the last 10 years. And acquisitions, they are a very important part of our growth strategy. We have a list, of course, of companies that we think would fit very well with Sandvik from a strategic point of view in a long-term perspective. However, we do not always decide when the seller or the proprietor of the company is prepared to sell. I don't think necessarily that the short-term changes in the economy will affect our mergers and acquisition strategy very much, other than that perhaps some very attractive opportunities will arise just because companies are now prepared to sell or owners are prepared to divest their ownership. But I think there will be opportunities, as there has been over the last few years.
Affected by the financial crisis, some coastal areas in China's southern and eastern cities are suffering from bankruptcy and capital withdrawal and expansion delays. But Sandvik is exemption, right? So you are working out a plan to expand investment in these areas. What's the thinking behind this?
I think many of the companies who have established themselves here and now have problems are the companies that have come here for the cost of low-cost labor. And that is not the primary reason why Sandvik established itself in this region. First of all, we do it with a very long-term perspective. This is not a 3 to 5 year perspective, but much longer than that. So what we look at very much more is where are we going to be close to the relevant industries for us, our customers in the future? Will we have a good communications and logistics opportunities? But perhaps more importantly, will we have the access to the kind of qualified, well-trained and well-educated labor that we would need, both on the staff and workers side? We have a very high value added on our products, and Sandvik is definitely participating in the top end of the market when it comes to quality and performance. So from that point of view, the sensitivity to salary cost adjustments is less than in many other companies which are very labor intensive.
China ranks as Sandvik number 8 regional market in terms of revenue and employers. So what will be the biggest drivers of growth in China?
I think it's two things. First of all, of course, has been the phenomenal growth of the Chinese economy. And in the mining sector, in the energy sector, and of course in the engineering sector, not the least in the automotive and aerospace, where we are a leading supplier of products. But also I think we have gradually and increasingly learned to use China as a foundation for our growth in Asia, producing products in China that can be exported into Japan, to Southeast Asia and to Australia. to cover the region in a very cost efficient, but also from a logistics point of view, very efficient way.
What is your expectation for the market share in the coming years?
I think we will see a slower growth now for a period of time. And of course, no one knows how long that period of time will be, but it will still be a growth. I think Sandvik, we are making investments now. We still have good growth opportunities in this market. For instance, in the mining sector, there is a big need to not only increase the safety, health and environment by mechanizing the mines, and we provide some very important technology for that. We are seeing the aerospace industry developing very well, where China is forwarding its capabilities in terms of building aircraft and many advanced products. And we think this is an area where we can definitely grow. And finally, I think the energy sector is one of the key opportunities for Sandvik to grow. China has a growing need for energy, and we are a key supplier of technology for the petrochemical industry, for the nuclear industry, but also for other areas such as solar power and new opportunities for alternative energy sources. And I think we will play an important role together with the governments and the companies around China that will develop the opportunities for alternative energy production.
Thank you for your time and thoughts.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is Lars Pettersson, president of Swedish company Sandvik, talking with us about opportunities amid the global economic chaos. Well, before we go, we're going to take you on a tour of northern Argentina to take a look at the famous Iguazu waterfalls. They are in fact higher than Niagara Falls in North America and 4 times as wide. It is now being considered as one of the 7 new natural wonders of the world. The waterfalls were formed by a volcanic eruption. The resulting crack in the earth separates the falls into an upper and lower section, dividing their home between Brazil and Argentina. This crescent-shaped cliff spans almost 3 kilometers, and the 270 separate cascades attract thousands of visitors every day from all over the world. The Iguazu was established as a Natural World Heritage Site by UNESCO back in 1984. That's going to do it for this edition of BizChina on CCTV International. I'm James Aiken in Beijing. Thanks for your time. We'll see you soon.